Hi there, students. Practice what you preach. Okay, this is a proverb, maybe it's a bit of a cliche as well. Okay, this means that you ought to do the things that you advise other people to do. So, I think the definition of a hypocrite is somebody who doesn't practice what they preach. He's always telling me to make sure the door is shut, but he always leaves it open. He never practices what he preaches. She was telling me to save money and then went out and bought a €400 dress. That clearly is not practicing what you are preaching. Okay, so to behave in the same way consistently with what the way you tell other people to behave. Yeah. So he's always telling his students to speak in English and not speak in their own language. And he really does practice what he preaches. Maybe he doesn't know how to speak their language. Okay, so to practice what you preach, to practice what one preaches, to do what you advise other people to do. Okay, to do the same thing. Yeah, to behave in the way that you encourage other people to do. I wish our politicians practiced what they preached, to behave in the way that they tell us we should behave. Mind you, practicing what you preach can often be quite tough. Yeah. The mother told the child not to swear, but she never practices what she preaches because she's always swearing. That's probably why the child is swearing. It's where they learn to do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My dad said we should only watch an hour of television every day, but he doesn't practice what he preaches because he's always there with his eyes glued to the goggle box. Okay, so to act in harmony with what you are advising people to do, with what you are teaching people to do. Okay, so let's see. Firstly, a little bit about the spelling. Practice with a C or practice with an S? I think maybe with an S is the English spelling and with a C is the American spelling. To practice means to do the same. Yeah, he practices what he's telling people to do. This is good practice. And then to preach, to give a sermon. Yeah, the priest was preaching from the pulpit all day. The imam was preaching in a mosque every Friday. Okay, and that's to preach. Formality, practice what you preach. I think maybe 4.75 in formality. Use it in an informal conversation without any problem. Use it in a semi-formal writing. I think maybe very formally. Be consistent with the advice that you give or something like that. And then, okay, as to origin, well, practice to do, and then to what you preach. Preach from the Latin word praedico. Yeah, this is related to predicate. Prae, before or in front, and dico, to assign to dedicate. Yeah, so that's the origin. So I think it's a good idea to practice what you preach because otherwise you just end up being a hypocrite and everybody's laughing at you because you're just not able to do what you're telling other people to do. Yeah, it's easy to tell other people what to do, but then practicing what you preach, that can be a more problematic thing to do. Okay, so yes, we should all practice what we preach, particularly prime ministers, not thinking about anyone in particular, or yeah, also if you practice what you preach, it's a good example for people to follow. That's why as a language teacher, teaching English, I think it's important for me to be able to speak another language, because like that, I'm practicing what I preach. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Practice what you preach.